Hello, I'm Sam Shelley, co-founder of Head Trash Anonymous, and this is...
Lori Pantazis.
Yeah, so I'm relaunching this channel. It was the Don't Dwell channel. I've been in New York City for roughly a year now, and I found my business partner here, Lori. And we really are relaunching Head Trash Anonymous, you can say, into New York City. That it's established in Philadelphia, and now we're bringing it to New York City. And now we co-wrote a book together, Breaking the Habit of Negative Thought Addiction. And I'm relaunching this channel. So if you saw before it was Don't Dwell. Well, now I saw, everybody knows not to dwell on thoughts, but it was too passive. So we call it head trash.
Yes.
So, Lori, how would you describe the head trash?
Oh, it's insidious. It comes in many forms, but it can start when you first wake up, and then it keeps escalating through the day. Negative thoughts like you're not good enough, or, oh, what lousy weather, or I hate going to work, I hate my job, I can't stand my boss, the traffic's miserable, the weather is not the way I want it to be. All kinds of things that can really, really disturb you and keep building all the time, and then it leads to negative patterns of behavior, and recurring patterns will create chaos in your life. So we wrote a book, and it's fantastic. You're going to love it. First, we outlined our personal journeys. Sam reversed 5 incurable diseases. I went through a traumatic, very emotionally upsetting childhood. And we both came out of pretty much unscathed. And how did we do it? We broke the habit of negative thought addiction. It took awareness. It took as much time as it took. It took you, what, between 16 and 18 months?
Mm-hmm.
For 5 incurable diseases, that's pretty quick. It took a process over a period of years and steps and stages. I was a little slower than Sam. And in that book, we talk about our journeys, and then we talk about ways to deal with this negative thought addiction. That's an epidemic, and you can see it in the world, in politics. It plays out in all different forms. So by changing the population, the way people think, the whole world will change. If you think about it, we want to bring Head Trash Anonymous chapters throughout the world. Because everyone and everywhere we have head trash. And that's just a fact of life. And it doesn't go away when you are breaking the habit of it. It doesn't totally leave you. There'll be instances that come up, or people influencing you sometimes. But when you catch it early, the thoughts, you stop them dead in their tracks. That is the beginning of healing. What do you want to say about that? How do you deal with your personal head trash, Sammy?
It's just a matter of just keeping yourself grounded. So it's like a dog.
Exactly.
It's like walking a dog. First, the dog, pulls you all over the neighborhood. Then eventually you start to learn to control the dog. So that's what it is. Basically, the mind can be like a dog pulling you around. And after a while, the leash gets shorter and shorter. So as soon as you see, it's like, oh, there goes that story. Let me come back.
Exactly. It becomes more recognizable earlier on. You say, oh, here I go again. I'm criticizing myself. I'm judging myself, and so on and so forth. Criticism, resentment, anger, all cover up for fear. And we're afraid. We grow up in a world that can be fearful at times. But we have courage, and we move through it. I mean, we're amazing, all of us, that we survive on this planet. There are things to learn here. But when you start with your mind, and you change your mind, you change your world. Your outer world is always a mirror reflecting what's inside of you. Everything, every person you know, every experience you have, that's a reflection of what's inside your mind and your psyche, in your energy field, and your perfect spirit. Your spirit is perfect, but your mind is toxic. By releasing the toxicity in the mind, we can get to pure spirit, perfect spirit. Sam had a voice that changed his entire life. What did you hear, Sam? Tell us.
Just those 2 simple words, perfect spirit. And this is what we really forget, that we are a perfect spirit, and that we confuse our life situation with life. And that's the head trash, when we get confused with our life situation, to realize that everything is happening for our benefit. And believe me, that's really hard to recognize at times. When I was really at the age of 37 and lost the ability to walk, that was not happening for my benefit, but then I can look back now and say that was the best thing for me because it forced me inside to look at my own inner world, to turn it around. And now I have no signs of multiple sclerosis. I can walk. I'm fine.
It's almost as they say in AA, bottoming out or crashing and burning. You had to crash and burn before you could heal. You had to go to the lowest point ever where you lost your ability to walk and you thought you were going to die. And that's very sad. You could have continued and you wouldn't be with us. But you're giving this gift to the world. It was for your benefit. The benefit of my childhood is that I have compassion. I've been there. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to feel shame and guilt and to despise myself. That's what I grew up hating myself so much I wanted to die. And now I have more of a life. I can say to myself, things are much, much better. Are they perfect? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. The spirit is perfect, but the life is a human experience. But the perfect partner for me came into my life, and I needed a partner, he needed a partner, and we both needed a partner, and we want to make a difference in the world. We're here to serve you. And part of that and all of it is bringing that awareness, that knowledge. And it's not like it's something that's rocket science. It's not a formula, you have to do this, you have to do that, that's work, that's prescribed. It's finding your truth. It's just becoming quiet. And you will find your path, right?
Yeah.
The Spirit is the way shower.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lantern with a light that lights your path of eternal truth. Not to get esoteric here, but look at what Sam did for himself, and he's healthy. He's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are all a work in progress. So there's no way of saying you'll never have head trash again. I'd be lying to you. But you will become so adept at recognizing it that it's going to be so much of a different experience for you when you become healthier in your mind and in your daily practices, how you live, and not getting caught up in the news or when people on the train, someone elbowed you and cursed you or whatever happened. The thoughts start to arise and you say, wait a minute. That's their head trash. It's not my story.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice that things are not your story. Your story is, I'm a perfect spirit, and I'm here to learn, to grow, and to love, and to share that knowledge, wisdom, and love with everyone. That's what we want to do, right, Sandy?
Yeah, and we're going to do about a video a week here, and we want to really answer your questions.
Yes.
Once the book comes out in roughly about 2-3 weeks, the book will be out there. And then we're looking forward to having Head Trash Anonymous chapters throughout the world, like a life support group. That I have all this stuff going on in my life. How do I come back to my perfect spirit?
You've got a point there, my darling. Absolutely. This is it. This is it. This is what the crux of it is. It's so simple. That's the thing. That's the test, the simplicity. The scientists will all agree. The simpler it is, the more effective it is. The more complex and convoluted, we don't need it. We don't have time for that every day. A simple daily shower to release negativity and toxin. Sam and I describe that in our book. It's simple. It's not complex, and there's no right way. Got to do it this way. You do this, this, that. It's not a mathematical formula, folks. Your formula is you, what you come up with, and it's spontaneous. It's easy. And it's more than effective. It's a game changer. It's a life altering. And I'm excited about this book, and I'm excited about you finding out what we know. And we had to go through the mud. We had to go through the depth. He felt he was going to die. Can you imagine? A young man that age couldn't walk and in pain. Walking around with a quad pain when he finally could walk, and cooling vests and all kinds of things that he went through till he's able to be a normal human being today, a healthy, happy person. And I can honestly say I can help people, particularly women. So I'm a woman, if you notice. And I have women's issues and, there's gender-specific issues. And I can help women with that body image stuff and always having to please others stuff. Right, ladies? Now, some of you are involved. You might say, not me. Good for you. Good for you. I want to hang out with you and know how do you do that? But it comes up.
Right.
Society promotes that. It's all about the media, what's out there, the images that they portray for what's supposed to be you. You're not supposed to be anyone but you. You are perfect spirit. So that's what we want to impart to you. We want to send love to you. Not to be sappy and, but we do care, and we want people's lives to change. Because when we changed our lives, it was like a wonderful liberation. We want to liberate you from the mental bondage of head trash, because it can imprison you. So get out of that jail cell. Get out into the world, into the sunshine, and just find your own truth and find your heart and soul. Okay? All right. But do you want to say something?
No, I think that's pretty good, but you didn't really go into too much of your journey, but that's the whole thing is...
Oh, that's for the book. Let them read the book. We're not going to tell them the story without them reading the book, right?
Yeah, and that's one thing about the book. It's simple. It's not a book that's going to take you days upon days to read. It's under 100 pages. It's short, to the point, concise. Because, like you were saying, the simpler it is, the more effective it is. We don't want to add more concepts, more head trash. We want to clear that away, let go of all these beliefs. Like, one of my greatest blessings was not having a spiritual teacher to fill me up with all this stuff. That you need to go do this, that you need to go do this. As you described it, there's no prescribed formula. It's just your way shower, showing your path, and your path is perfect for you.
Don't think I didn't go through the steps of prescribed formulas. Taking sea salt baths and all kinds of craziness I went through. Rituals and affirmations that didn't work for me. I'm not saying affirmations are not valuable. They didn't work for me because inside I had not changed. I wasn't aware. How can things change from the outside? They must change within. That, I'll grant you, is true. You must change from within. Remember, once again, the outer world is a mirror. It shows you where you are. And that's good. That's good because if you feel resistance or fear or negativity or feeling stuck, resistance is the first step toward change. That's great. Let that resistance, and then the inner knowingness will start. Things are going to come up. You're going to be like, really? Am I thinking that way? What happened now? Why am I like that? And then you'll find out, oh, someone told you that's the way you should think and feel. So we ground ourselves, we listen to ourselves, we love ourselves, and we respect ourselves. It all starts with us. It starts with you. And again, it's the easiest thing you can do. So, that's that.
Yeah, I think that's it for today, but we'll come back each week with some kind of topic, and maybe in the next 2-3 weeks the book will be out there.
Yes.
And we really want to hear your questions. How can we answer what's coming for you? Because we wrote a book, Very Simple, Complex. That's what the whole point of Head Trash Anonymous Global Chapters is, because we each have our own unique journey. How do we snap that, break that story, clear it, whatever it takes to, so you can go back into your life that's one with the infinite abundance of the universe, that you're infinitely abundant with health, relationships, careers. There's absolutely no limitations. All limitations are mental, that you can't do something. So
it's like a magic trick. You pick the tablecloth and all the stuff stays on the table. So you're not throwing out the baby with the bathwater. You're still you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So take good care of yourself. Remember that you're this perfect spirit and all is well.
All right. Goodbye, Sammy.
All right. Goodbye, Lori.
Goodbye. Mwah.